Welcome back.
Welcome back. Another week.
Another episode. Today we are back with a very exciting episode, which is building in public, and the beauty of it and the power in it and how you can use it to your advantage and the fun in it.
We're going to try to focus it more because I think we have spoken a lot about not waiting for a perfect moment because there's nothing like a perfect moment. So if you want to hear about that, go listen to some previous episodes. But just focus it into really being willing to ask questions when you don't know, not being afraid of being embarrassed, not being afraid of not knowing anything, not being perfect.
But also trying different strategies, being open to like building an audience while building a brand, sharing the good, the bad and the ugly, and letting people like be a part of that and build that community and build that like safe space where people see, okay, you know what, it's not just all good.
We're going to squash those false realities that social media and the world has taught us. So if you want some hard truths, welcome. We'd love to chat. I think this relates a lot of like the examples we could think of relates a lot to like small business owners or entrepreneurs who are putting out a product or a service. But if you are not that, which I know some of our audience isn't, just we'll touch on it because I think it's relatable no matter where you are. I remember when I first started my business, actually, I was so focused on being this professional image. We are a professional business running with professional content and perfect items. And that was really my mindset for all of 1 week. Then I quickly was humbled as I realized my budget, my experience, and the size of my actual business will not uphold a fake image. Surprise, surprise.
So much.
But no, and I realized that no one except myself is holding me to that standard. And in fact, people do buy based on the person behind the product a lot of time. Yes, they do. Obviously, we buy for products, but a lot of our small businesses actually that we mentioned in our previous episodes, we love the person behind the product. The product is amazing. Don't get us wrong. But the person behind the product, that's who we want to highlight. And that's the person we connect with the most. And I'm sure if you ask every single one of them, their product isn't perfect yet. Their business isn't exactly where they want it to be yet. But it's a beautiful thing of like seeing and witnessing that person walk a journey and to get the product, get the business to where they want to.
I don't know about you guys, but when I shop local in that sense or support small businesses, is I'm usually trying to support the person and the passion and like keep their dream alive more than the fact that I want the product. And that's just shows you how important your community is and how important it is for your community to know you and what you stand for and what your passions are and what you're trying to build. You know what I mean? And that's why like I try and push all the like small business owners that I know to actually interact with their audience, let them know who you are, because that is your selling point, who you are. Fair enough, your product or your service is extremely important, obviously, because if they don't need it, they don't need it. But people support people, especially if you're shopping local.
I agree.
Especially if you're trying to build a community, if you're trying to build a relationship. And like I said to Laurie before we started filming, I've seen it so many times on Instagram where someone that is like a product-based company will share the different samples that they had and where the samples were like defective or they didn't like them or they were not strong enough or they weren't like perfect, and how they improved them into the new product that they are. And they were open and they were transparent, and those things build trust and they build credibility. And you're basically showing your client that you prioritize them and you prioritize like giving them the best possible product. And so fair enough, it's embarrassing to show a sample that isn't perfect, but it adds so much value to be able to show, you know what, I made this thing, but I'm not going to put it out there because it's not the
really
best work I could put out there, so I'm going to work harder so that I can give you something that you actually deserve type thing.
I agree.
Basically what I'm trying to say is people don't necessarily support the product, they support the person.
Mm-hmm.
And if you are a business or you're a business owner that someone does not align with and then my values don't align with yours, I am probably not going to support you. It's so important to like have that community, and you build that community through trust and through vulnerability and through sharing your life with them.
Agree.
And that's what building in public means, is you have like building your brand in the public eye and showing everyone the ups and downs.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that. And the thing is, actually, from that we have started this podcast, most of the people we talk to are so curious about the journey we're on, because it's not something that's talked about a lot. It's not a lot of people doing it.
Yeah.
It's not a massive community. And so people are more curious about what's going on behind the scenes. And I think that's the same with our businesses. Like, people are so curious about samples you put out. The amount of people who ask me, how do you launch a product? Like, what's the process,
Yeah.
Because they don't know. They're not into sewing, for example, so they don't know about patterns and seamstresses and what. But they're interested. Like, they would love to hear more about it. So, although it seems to me sometimes like, what a boring, frustrating process, a very imperfect process, a process that can take months and frustrate the hell out of me. To some people, that's beautiful to see, to experience, to witness, because they'll probably never witness it themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, 100%.
That's so important. And just, again, let's relate it to someone who isn't in business. That's, for example, asking questions in a room where you really, if you don't know something, asking the questions. And, we spoke about a few episodes back about it being embarrassing when it's not embarrassing. It's not embarrassing to ask questions and to expand your knowledge. If you don't know, you don't know. Rather ask the question. I can put money on it that someone in the room also wants to ask a question, but they're too scared to ask a question. So be the one to feel stupid. I'm making air quotations because you're not stupid, but feel stupid, okay? Yeah. And ask the questions. Be imperfect, because that highlights your journey to wanting to grow, wanting to know more, wanting to be more involved.
Exactly. It's more embarrassing to do or say something because you just didn't have the information.
Exactly.
Than to just ask a question, if that makes sense. But I agree with you. I think there is so much curiosity from people in that sense, and into like our lives, for example, into the podcast or into either of our businesses. And most of it, 90% of it, 95% of it is very sincere and genuinely just trying to understand and is genuinely interested. And which is cool. You should see all those things as opportunities more than anything else. So the more you speak and the more you build in public and the more you share your story and the more you introduce yourself to random people, whatever it may be, like the more your business is going to grow and the better your trust with your clients are going to grow. So might as well.
You might as well ask.
And I think the beauty of going first and like jumping into it is, and like building in public,
Embracing
is the fact that you give permission for other people to do the same. You give permission for others to jump in their like imperfect states. Everything doesn't need to be ready. Everything doesn't need to be perfect. Like we said, there's never going to be a perfect moment to do anything, but you're giving other people permission to try.
Yeah, I agree.
And there's so much beauty in that.
Just try.
To give people that level of confidence, I think.
No, I agree with you. And the thing is, it really does sometimes just take one person. There's so many other small business owners that I follow. And when they share those vulnerable times, when they share their opinions about stuff, like, it really does inspire me to be like, I actually admire that you're willing to be so vulnerable so publicly and show the difficult parts, talk about the hard stuff, that it inspires me to do the same. And it does just take that one person to show you it's not so deep. It's not, even if that's actually a good example, Laurie. If we look at Denal and I, not to toot my own horn. Now, if we look at Denal and I with this podcast, the amount of people, and it's not to say we have it all figured out, because we don't. The amount of people who have said, like, maybe they want to start a podcast, maybe they want to chase a creative dream. And it's not because we are these like icons and we're making history, because we're not, but we're willing to just share the realities of it, to talk about the hard stuff. And that just inspires someone to be like, but maybe I can do it as well.
Yeah.
And that's literally our goal.
Yeah, exactly. And I think also just normalizing the fact, because I think people don't talk about this type of stuff enough. And the more people talk about it, the more people feel heard and the more people feel seen.
Yes.
And that's the beauty of it, is just letting people feel seen.
And we're all just little humans doing life for the first time.
Exactly. You're literally,
figuring it out.
We're all just giving each other permission to feel certain things and to do certain things and to like experience life in certain ways.
Yeah, I agree.
Once again, I just want to use Running with Scissors as an example. Obviously, Running with Scissors was built very publicly, right? It kind of feels like you guys know way too much about us, which is a little bit scary. But we built this very publicly. We built this on a platform, and that's basically what a podcast is, right, at the end of the day. And so I understand that a podcast, this is how you build a podcast, okay? But building in public builds community, and I think that's why I can use Running with Scissors as an example, because it is so public.
Yeah.
But it's built a community, and at the end of the day, that was our goal, to build a community, right? But it's built a community of people that are invested, of people that want to support us, people that feel seen and heard, and people feel safe in this space, and people who want to ask questions. And that's the whole thing, and that's what we wanted to achieve. And that's the beauty of it, is the more publicly you build, the stronger your connection is going to be with your audience. And at the end of the day, your audience is your customer.
And I feel like what I noticed, and I actually, when you planned this episode, realized that I really need to get back into it. But when I involved my audience in my business, asking them about color swatches, about styles, about whatever, there was so much more investment in the product being sold, because I was part of that. If you even look at one of our very big activewear brands in South Africa, Burnt, just did a launch where they involved the community, and so it was Burnt XU. And that range, I was actually watched it because I was like, that's such a cool idea to involve your community in a range. Sold so fast, and they just launched new colors because it was so much demand. But one of the reasons for that was because people were involved, people could see the process, was part of the process. But just being part of it makes people excited.
And I think that's the whole thing, is people want to be part of something, and people want to feel heard and feel seen, and that's the whole thing, is people feel comfortable with giving you feedback. I mean, that could be a good and a bad thing, but they feel like they're part of the process, which means they're part of the community. Yeah.
And just in everyday life, I mean, I feel like it's become such a habit to be like, ask people how they're doing. And firstly, not to actually ask, like, really, how are you doing? But also not to answer the question properly and just be like, yeah, good, thank you. And like, that's the end of it. Where sometimes you should just, if it's not going well, just say, not so great, but I'll be fine, or not so great, and carry on with your day. Like, I'm not saying pour your heart out to every single person that's asking you how you're doing, but just normalize actually answering the question truthfully, because I can promise you that person asking you has probably also had hard days where they wish they could just say, really not good. Really going through it at the moment. You know?
No, 100%. Give yourself permission, and give someone else permission to allow themselves to feel their feelings, basically. And even, like I said, like, you guys know way too much about us. There's still some things that we will keep private, always.
And not share.
Exactly. And what I'm trying to say is, you don't have to share everything. You choose what you share, and you can still build connection with only sharing a part of who you are, and that's okay, and that's safe, and that's,
I think that's the important word, is like, what feels safe to you. Because if we need to set boundaries of like what not everyone should be seeing. Like, we're not saying go hang all your dirty laundry in front of the world and be like, woo, being wonderful. No, like, choose what's safe for you, choose what's aligned, what's, what can help your business and what can't. And I think, unfortunately, in our social media world, you need to keep some stuff private just for safety and sanity. And I think there's the other reality we should speak about is that when you open yourself up and you're vulnerable and you show the bullying, you are opening yourself up for criticism. We have experienced that. Not a lot, luckily, but
what I live by is, if I wouldn't go to that person for advice, why am I going to take their criticism?
It's very good advice.
because otherwise everyone can just steal my joy. And that's stupid and unnecessary.
Yeah, I agree.
So if you wouldn't take their advice, don't take their criticism. It's the same thing.
That's a good way to judge it, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I agree. There is, I mean, so many keyboard warriors out there. And any publicity is good publicity. So
Help your engagement, at least.
exactly. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. To just sum it all up, you are allowed to be a work in progress in public, especially when you're building a new business or a new idea or
a personal brand or whatever it may be. Anything is becoming in public can be such a beautiful thing and can actually be so beneficial, and it can literally open so many doors and so many opportunities. And so don't wait to be perfect, don't wait to feel safe, because it's never going to come. Might as well just go for it.
I agree. And there's so much beauty in it. Your journey might be, the journey is going to be long. Yeah. We'll just say that. We'll be work in progresses. Our brands will be work in progresses forever and ever. I don't think there will ever be a time where we can say perfection,
Yeah.
So it's going to be a long journey. So we might as well get comfortable with the uncomfortable and get used to it. And if you have someone who is building publicly, and go show them some love, because it's not always easy.
Yeah, it's harder than it looks. It's harder than it looks, definitely.
Yeah.
And I think as someone who is trying to build publicly, like the two of us or whatever, I now have a newfound respect and appreciation for people that are doing these things or have built like something publicly or whatever it may be.
Okay.
And I think they deserve some love, so go give them some love. And also, if you are doing that, just be proud of yourself.
Shout out to you.
Pat on the back. Proud of you. You got this.
Yeah, I agree. I think our question for the day, when you think about building publicly, so sharing it even with a family or friends, telling them about your hardships in becoming, doesn't have to be on social media, what makes you the most afraid about that idea?
What is the scariest part of sharing?
And is it worth being scared of?
Yeah, I think that's actually a very good way of thinking about it, is actually like, what is holding you back? And then actually understanding, because if you understand the origin of the issue and the fear, then you can kind of work through it.
Exactly. Now for our favorite part of this season's episodes.
Small Business of the Week.
Woo!
So exciting.
So this week's small business is actually something very close to my heart, and Danelle loves it as well, though.
Yeah.
I am on a board for NGO that my mom started a few years back, and the NGO is called Beating the Odds. Beating, like beats. Beating the odds. So my mom worked her whole life through, and a few years back she got this calling to move into non-profit, which she has loved her whole life, and I love it as well. And so we work specifically for women who are in safe houses and have left abusive relationships. So a lot of times it's very vulnerable women whose self-worth have been affected very, very badly. And so the idea is to give them a platform and a launching pad to just start gaining confidence back, earning their own money, and then hopefully get back onto their feet. And that's our goal with NGO. Incredible stuff have come from it. My mom really is amazing in what she does, and she inspires so many women and really help them. So you can actually support them by ordering Bead products for corporate events, for actually anything. All of NVW's Women Day boxes are actually also getting bracelets in. So we'll tag them on our Instagram.
That's very exciting, and I think it's so beautiful in the sense where, like you said, it's to build the confidence back, but it's also to give those women their identities back.
Exactly.
Which were stripped away. So guys, let's all support.
Go support and check them out.
Yeah.
Even just like a follow or sharing a business like that helps a lot. But yeah, very cool.
Exactly. No, I think it's amazing. So we will definitely be doing a social media post about it. So keep your eye on that. And and then we can all support.
Fantastic. Have the best day.
Thank you guys for joining in this week. Have the best day, and we will see you next week.
Bye.
Love you. Bye.